guys, Adam with Equipped to Endure. We're here with no stranger, Uncle Ethan Becker.
Boss.
How are we doing today?
Life is good.
Well, I'm very excited about this conversation we're about to have because I've been looking forward to what we're about to talk about for a while now. And let's just go ahead and get it over with.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's not wait or anything. What do you have there in your right hand, sir?
I have in my right hand a knife that I have literally, my mind has been working on since I was about 14 years old. And the first real knife that I ever bought was a Puma White Hunter. And it influenced a lot of my design for bigger knives. And then I bought a Puma Hunter's Friend. And that knife was my go-to knife, small knife, for literally most of my life. And I started modifying Hunter's Friends when I was about 16. The one I had a stag, first one I had a stag handle, and it was a pretty rough piece of stag, and it looked pretty, and it hurt me. So that's really what got me started modding knives. Modding started to translate to making led to 30 years of being in the business. So this knife has been actually, when all is said and done, 51 years in the making. Mm-hmm. And it is a very simple knife. It's about 4 inches, roughly 4 to 4.5 inches long. It has a relatively, when it gets done, it'll have a slightly higher grind because this is a pre-production prototype, and it'll be about 1/8 inch to 3/16 higher. But it has the handle that is the combination of about hundreds and hundreds of handles that I've held.
It looks very, very similar between something like the Becker BK2 or even the Becker BK13 as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty addicted to Mr. Lovelace's drop point.
May I, sir?
You certainly may.
Oof. Very nice.
Decent palm swell. No sharp edges anywhere. Mm-hmm. Nothing to poke you. I'm a firm believer that the knife should either cut or poke, the cut-y or poke-y, and not the cut-er or poke-er. And the balance is pretty even. It'll be a little bit more forward when it's done.
I've heard you like that.
Yes, I do indeed. But it's you'll note that the handle comes right to where you can start to work the blade. You can get the thumb out onto the part of the blade that gets worked the most in doing fieldcraft chores. Choked up on it, you can control a point when skinning. It has enough length so that when batoning or clubbing through something, you can get most of the stuff that you need done. It's strong enough. With this steel, you'll get well over, if it's driven into something here, you'll get roughly, you can safely get 40 to 45 degrees before it'll break. And if you've bent your knife blade over 45 degrees, well, maybe you should have brought a pry bar.
That's a good point.
I mean, it's at anything over. I mean, I have subjected many knives to horrible abuse over the years, but I have never broken anything other than the tip on something. And that was when I was doing something extraordinarily stupid, and I'm not even going to fess up to it. So, where were we about strength? And in a knife that size, if you buy it for a pry bar, you should have bought something else. I mean, seriously. I've broken handles on things. I've mostly broken knives throwing them. There's a reason why throwing knives are generally in the high 40s to low 50s on the Rockwell scale, because if you throw a knife, eventually it will break. A knife that's designed to cut.
Absolutely. Well, we don't have a name for this yet, but some names have been bouncing back and forth. Do you have any intel on that right now?
No.
Okay.
The guys on the forums call them the tweeners, and somehow I don't think this is my wife's a marketing genius.
Yeah.
Saying no, and I agree with her. And it's a cute name and everything because it's halfway between this guy and the big Beckers, but we'll get it figured out eventually.
Yeah, I like Field Crafter. Now that's not the only new item that you have to play with here this afternoon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And one thing, I did get to play with this a little bit last year at Project What You Preach, and but one conversation we had, and I must have, last year was the first year I met you, and in the course of that week, I think probably 50 people came up and talked to you about the next knife we're about to speak about, and this was one of your, if not your earliest design.
This is the earliest knife that I designed that got made. And this is a Machax, which of course is a machete axe. The idea behind it, I had sent with two of my friends who went to Vietnam. I gave them both kukris. Both of the friends came back. Neither kukri did. One of them got lost because the stick tang, when it was, I was using it to chop, the blade came out of the stick tang, or the stick tang came out of the handle, and he said he could see it boomeranging through the air for a long time before it hit about the middle of the river. And the other one was left behind because somebody needed it more. But I've loved kukri type knives since I was 15 or 16 years old and discovered them. The only thing that was I ever found wrong with kukri style knives was the fact that they were made out of crummy steel. They had handles made for people who were extremely short in stature, and they weren't built like me. And the sheaths sucked. So other than that, I thought it was a great blade, and I tried to get combine the kukri with a World War II survival machete that was in somebody's seat pack, naval seat survival pack, that I got at a surplus store or a gun show for $3 or something like that, and I just felt that that the combination would really do well. This is one of the best iterations. It's had about 5 different they've had about 5 different thicknesses, and the grinds have been better or worse. The handles have been better or worse. This one is 3/16. It's very slicey. If you use it using a snap cut, you can get tremendous power. You can do the little work you need to do within reason. I once made a fire kit with one of my 14-inch machetes to prove a point. I don't want to do that again. All right? It was very nerve-wracking for the people around me.
No, I can imagine.
But you can, as a single big knife, this one will do an awful lot of work. If you think of it too as a safety hatchet, if this is a hatchet and this is a sharp handle that will catch rather than skitter off something if you miss, it works pretty good.
Now, what's the time frame that you think that these are going to be released? I know you can't give us any hard dates yet, but we will see these at Blade Show this year, right?
You'll see them at Blade Show. They will be, quote, introduced, close quote, at SHOT Show in January.
Well, Ethan, thank you very much again. It's a pleasure as always. And if they want to get in touch with you, they go to your forum on the Blade Forums, right?
Right.
Okay.
Becker Knife and Tool, bladeforums.com. Look under the manufacturers section. That's a fun place to hang out.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Well, hey guys, this is Adam from Equip to Endure. If you guys have any questions or comments, please email me at adam@equiptoendure.com. You guys take care. Be safe out there. Remember, if you're not always prepared, you're never prepared. Thanks.